Good morning. My name is Dr. Z, and I'm a volunteer with the Children's Science Center. I'm here to welcome you to our Do-It-Yourself series, but this is kind of a special one because I'm working with the Youth Advisory Committee, Youth Advisory Board, and we're going to be talking about the germination of seeds in celebration of Earth Day. You know, every day ought to really be a celebration of Earth Day. Our Earth is such a miracle. It grows all our food and is the source of all our life. And you may already know that plants, like animals, have their own life cycle. And what I'm going to do for you today is show you how you can make yourself an experiment or do an experiment to actually observe the germination of a seed. And the seed we're going to be looking at today is a lima bean seed. This is a very special one, kind of a beautiful pink color, and I hope you like lima beans. I do. I eat them all the time, cook them, and they're very good. But we're going to do an experiment together that you can do at home to watch how the germination process, which is the process by which a seed becomes a plant, how that develops. And you're going to have some patience because this is going to take a few weeks to develop. Now, it's interesting. Did you know that seeds are still alive? They are actually, they're what scientists call dormant, that they're kind of sleeping, but they are alive. And you can do an interesting experiment at home. If you take one of these beans and you just put it in a little cup of water and you let it soak in there for maybe about a day, and then you take the seed out and using your nail, you kind of break it apart. You're going to look inside and you're going to see that there's something very interesting going on in there. You see, there's something kind of white here. It looks like a little horn. I can flip it a little. Do you see that? Looks almost like a white worm, doesn't it? That's called the embryo. And that's the beginning of a baby plant. And that will eventually grow into a full-size plant, which will produce its own flowers, and then fruit, this is the fruit, and then eventually the fruit falls off, and you can eat it, or you can save it for the next year and plant it to produce more plants. The rest of this white stuff in here is called endosperm. And those are all the chemicals that this little plant needs to begin growth. And then on the outside, you'll see there's this covering. It's called the seed coat. It's kind of a hard cover, but when you soak it, it actually kind of comes off. So you can see you can peel it off. So those are basically the three parts of a seed. The embryo, which is the baby plant, the endosperm, which is the rest of the stuff inside, which are the chemicals that the seed needs to grow, and finally, the seed coat, which protects it. Now, seeds need, in order to grow, they need a couple things. They need water, they need moisture, and usually they need a little warmth. So that's why things in the springtime are blooming, because we got some water and it's warmer now, and bulbs are growing, trees are blooming. Everything is really beautiful. This is all part of the beauty of spring. Anyway, what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you how to make one of these packets, okay? And you can see in this particular packet are lima bean seeds in there. And in the bottom of here is some water. And then this is just a piece of paper. And I have some staples here that I put in order to create a little packet to hold the seeds and plant, and then some tape, and you can just tape this to a window. And over time, you're going to be able to watch your seeds grow. Now, I've actually been doing this at my home, so I have some examples to show you of what you can what you're going to see. Here's an example of the lima bean seed after 2 weeks in the packet. And you can see that what has developed out of the seed is a beautiful new stem. Yeah, that stem is growing kind of down. And that, if this were planted in the ground, that would be growing into the dirt. And that's the beginning of the plant, and that's after 2 weeks. Now, after 3 weeks, it's even more spectacular. You can see now, after 3 weeks, that the root system has really grown. Look at that, how beautiful. And you can see that the seed coat is beginning to fall away, and the green part, which is our plant, if this were in the dirt, if my pointer here were the dirt, this would now be starting to come up above the ground. And then finally, after 4 weeks, the root system is even more spectacular. Look at all that, how beautiful those roots are. And now something even more spectacular is happening. You see these little points here, these little green things? Those are the beginning of leaves. So now our plant is really beginning to develop into a full-scale plant. Again, if this were, my pointer were the dirt, this whole portion would be coming out of the ground. Pretty spectacular, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this, and you can do it at home and watch this miraculous process take place. So what you need is a plastic sandwich bag. I usually get these from Ziploc, so that it has a Ziploc opening at the top. I need a piece of paper towel like that. I'm going to need a stapler, and we're going to need some seeds and some water, okay? So start out by taking your paper towel, if it's this size, which is about 10 by 11 inches, fold it in half, and fold it in half again, and now you can cut it. Take some scissors, cut it in half, okay, and then cut it in half again, open the fold and cut it along the fold. So what I have now is a perfect size piece of paper that can go into my plastic bag just like this, okay? Pretty easy so far, okay? Now, I want you to take your stapler, a stapler like this or anyone that you have at home, and measure down, take a ruler and measure down about, I'd say 2 inches from the top, okay? That's about here. And I want you to go ahead and put some staples in, just like this, okay? It's easier for you to do this on a table, but I'm doing this so that maybe you can see it easier. Okay, so what I've done now is I have my paper towel inside of the plastic bag, and by stapling the top here, I've made some little pouches so that now I can put my seeds in there, and I would recommend doing about 3 seeds. And you see how they're kind of indented? Put the indentation kind of at the bottom. Okay, so, and you can buy these seeds just about anywhere, probably at grocery stores, and you don't have to use lima bean seeds. You can use all kinds of other seeds, okay? So now we have a plastic bag. We have our seeds resting in this little pouch. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take about 1/4 cup of water, and we're slowly going to pour it in the bag all the way down, okay, so that the bottom of the bag is pretty full of water. So you can see that, okay? And we're done. All we have to do now is seal the bag. This is one of those Ziplocs, so make sure it's well sealed, okay? Which I'm having some trouble with now, actually. Science doesn't always go smoothly. Okay, so I've compressed this. And so what's going to happen now is that the water is going to move up the paper towel by absorption, and it's going to provide just enough moisture so that those seeds are going to begin to germinate. And the first thing that happens is that seed coat, that pink hard coating, is going to start getting really soft. And then remember we saw that little embryo inside the seed? That's what's going to start growing into the stem and into the new plant. And the last thing you do is just take a little piece of tape like this and put it on your bag, and then just attach this to a window somewhere. And over the next 3 weeks, you're going to watch your embryos go through the you're going to watch your seeds go through the germination process and become a plant. It's a miracle. Here's one last challenge for you. What if I were to tell you to make 2 of these, put one on a windowsill, and then the other one put someplace that's completely dark, like in a closet, hang it up on the back of the closet door. You think I'm crazy? Well, watch. Watch the one that's growing in the sunlight, and watch the one that's growing in the dark. And at the end of 2 or 3 weeks, look at them, compare them, and then figure out what's going on. Will it grow in the dark? Maybe so. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. I'm going to be doing some on electromagnetism. And I hope that I've shared with you my love of science. It's just great. Okay, guys, until next time, have a good day.